I'm Coach Crystal, an ex-Broadway performer turned online Christian health coach and maintenance expert. I discovered my true calling, helping women like you break free from the weight loss cycle and build a sustainable, healthy lifestyle. Each week, I'll be joined by a special co-host to share how faith, fitness, and family help me and can help you. This is Fit Beyond 40. I ask, ladies who maybe come to us and are like, well, I did all the things, nothing changed. And then I'll ask something like, well, how long has it taken you to get to this point?
Yeah.
How many years did it take you to put on all this weight?
Yeah.
Oh, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. And you expect to reverse 20 years in 12 days?
Yes.
And that's kind of where
it'll kind of click for them.
Yes.
I think also it's about consistency, and I don't think we talk about consistency enough.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about the amount of time that it takes to put on weight, the amount of time it takes to make a change in your body, but more importantly than the amount of time is consistency. So if you have put on a substantial amount of body fat over a set amount of years, and it's never been just like this constant uptick. It's probably like up, down, right? You've got this up and down methodology. But what has really contributed to the weight gain is consistently overeating.
100%.
Consistently staying stagnant. And
here's the thing. I hear a lot of women saying, I eat healthy. And I'm like, really?
Every day?
Really?
Do you?
And it could look like this is a typical kind of week where, okay, maybe you do eat mindfully Monday to Friday, but Friday night, Saturday rolls round, the weekend rolls round, and you're eating such high caloric foods, especially in fats and carbs, that all of that deficit that you've done Monday to Friday,
you've just undone
thrown
the
out the window.
100%. And I don't think people realize how much tipping that scale actually is, right? So I talk to a lot of ladies that will say they don't eat all day.
Right.
And they have like one meal. But that and they will admit, okay, it's not the healthiest meal, like I'll order takeout, but it's just one meal. Like how can that really but that one meal is 3,000 calories,
and it's
girl.
So high in fat.
It's so high
in carbs.
No protein.
Zero protein.
Like your body composition is now just like totally shifted.
Yes.
Right? Because now you're just you're all the extra is fat storage.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So and then you're not really pushing yourself hard enough in the gym to use some of those extra calories to help build, muscle or strength even, right? So because you're just lifting 5-pound dumbbells, right? You're not really.
What do you mean? I can't put on muscle with my 3-pounders? I feel the burn, Coach Janae.
I know.
I feel the burn with my 3-pounders.
That's just a burn. Okay, that is not building muscle. But and that is the other component too, is the consistency in your workouts and in the gym.
Especially if you're looking at toning, which is a word that we hear all the time.
Yeah.
Ultimately meaning you want to put on muscle.
Yes.
And, in order to do that, like you're alluding to, you need to lift way heavier than 3 pounds, and you actually need to eat a lot more.
Yes.
And I mean, we'll I think we have an episode going into that.
Talk about,
macros and whatnot, and putting on muscle. But going back to our topic today is why we quit. It really roots around, one, you're not patient enough.
Yeah.
You haven't been consistent enough.
Yes.
We both know all programs work.
Yes.
It's just
a matter of consistency and the commitment to it
that's
it. Make it work.
And following through.
Yeah.
And then again, we have another episode about how a lot of the diets are not sustainable.
Yeah.
That's a part of it too.
True.
But the fact that we quit, it really has to deal with, okay, even though I'm doing all the things, it's not going to just melt off.
Yeah.
Because of years of being consistent with an unhealthy diet and not moving.
And
bad habits. I need to be patient. I need, and the word self-discipline, sometimes I think women have a hard time wrapping their brain around, just because it does sound very
regimented,
hardcore, army-like.
Yeah.
So one of the terms that I've learned to use from one of my mentors is what about consider the word devoted? Because when you think of devotion, like when you hear that word, what do you think?
I mean, like when you hear devotion, I feel like that's something pleasurable.
Yes.
Right. I don't have a negative connotation to it.
Yes.
Like it's more like a positive.
Yes.
And it just speaks to how committed I am to it.
Yeah, I'm committed to you.
Yeah.
I love you.
Yeah.
I want
Like
to spend time. There's kindness.
Yeah.
There's a softness to
Yes.
it. So instead of saying I'm self-disciplined, what about I'm self-devoted?
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's not a I don't want to think of it as a selfish thing, but rather I'm doing this because I care
Yes.
about this vessel.
And changing that word will also help in those things like the events and the parties and right, when you have to say no to certain things.
Yes.
Right? And
I'm being disciplined.
yeah,
No,
right. And there's, but I don't know about you, but for me, there's a certain amount of rebelliousness that will happen when I'm told that I can't do something.
Right.
And some of that has to do with my own self-discipline.
Right.
Right? Like and we all know this, because I know that we all experience this with our diets, but the moment you say that you can't have something is the moment that you want it the most.
100%.
So when you're fighting this battle of being self-disciplined and you have too much of a negative connotation to it, you have this natural instinct to rebel against it. Versus, like if you're one of those people that feel that way, I mean, self-discipline that terminology can work for some, right? Yeah. But if it's not working for you, then maybe that self-devotion will have a different effect on you. You won't feel like rebelling and sabotaging yourself against it, right? Because you'll feel like, no, like this is a very positive thing that I'm doing, right?
Exactly. And our listeners know that I'm a Christian, and so another layer that I want to encourage some of our listeners that might resonate with this is, as a God-fearing, faith-filled Christian woman, when I look at this vessel, I look at it as a gift. I look at it and I know, because it says in the Bible, that this body doesn't belong to me. And it houses a very important guest, and his name is the Holy Spirit. And the Holy Spirit deserves a mansion, not a rundown hotel. And so in order to treat this guest with the utmost respect, I want to treat it well. I want to honor it. I want to love it. And so again, a different... It's a different shift. It's not so regimented and restrictive and hardcore. It's more gentle. It's more loving. I respect. When you think devoted, I respect you. I'm devoted to you. I want to take care of you. I'm committed to you. So when you look at your body and your healthy lifestyle from that perspective, I think that it would help the temptation of be feeling like a failure, quitting too early, because when you love someone, you know that it takes work. It takes time. Love is also, it's not always roses. You know what I mean? It takes time. It takes some patience. It takes care. And so when you also think about it from that perspective, I'm going to be patient with this body.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
And with that in mind, when you talk about like the hard work, in any other aspect in your life, when it gets hard, when something gets hard, whether it's your relationship, your career, you don't just quit. You don't just give up. You actually, in fact, in some of those situations, that's not even an option. You don't even consider that an option.
Yes.
Right? So why?
How many times has it been really hard for us being a mother?
Right. You don't just go like, oh, today I quit. Yeah, I'm not doing this
My
anymore.
child, I'm leaving. Or you're
too difficult.
Yeah. No.
Yes.
We are patient with them.
Yes.
And yes.
And we know that over time, we have to work at it over time.
Absolutely.
And every day is not going to be perfect.
Yes.
There are going to be days that we fail.
Yes.
There are going to be days that are just harder to get through than others. There's going to be days that we need help from other people, right? So the same thing for our fitness and our nutrition kind of, journeys, or the goals that we want to set out for our physical body. It's going to take time and work.
And just speaking to that point of sometimes we need help. I mean, we are intelligent women, we're educated women, but I'm a firm believer that coaches need coaches.
Oh yeah.
If
Even having outside eyes.
Absolutely.
Right? Taking your own critical self out of the equation.
And not only that, it's nice because our brains are being used to the max in other things.
Yeah.
It's nice for someone
else.
It's nice
to hand it over.
Yes, like just tell me what to do. Yeah, right?
Right? Yeah.
It just makes life easier. Just tell me what to do.
Tell me what my macros are.
Exactly.
And then I can just go eat those
and then
macros.
I can do it, you know? And I think for us women who are driven, that are go-getters, and you know, it really helps to have someone coach you. The way that I look at it, and you're the perfect person. So, if you, let's just say you were challenging me to bake a cake. Okay, I do not bake. I am just very
I laugh
blessed.
because that's what I'm laughing.
Yeah, right. Like
let's go with this.
Right, and this is why I surround myself. Like my husband, like my best friend, like I have people around me that love to cook and love to bake so that I don't have to. But let's just say I have to bake a cake. Now, knowing me, and because I'm very impatient, I'm that type of person who would just probably throw it all together.
Yes.
Okay, I think it includes flour. I'm pretty sure it includes baking soda.
Yeah.
Maybe some salt, maybe some sugar. And I would just throw it all together, couple of eggs or a dozen eggs, I don't know.
Yeah.
And throw it in the oven. What would come out? A hot mess.
Oh, yes.
A hot mess, right?
A salty cake.
Salty cake, exactly.
Because you said maybe to the sugar, and then you said for sure the salt. So I think you're a little skewy.
Yeah, okay, so it would be a salty hot mess. But the point is, that's what it's like for the average woman who is trying to put all of these
a hodgepodge of things.
YouTube videos, and maybe go to the gym and try these machines, and save all of these diets from these blogs and these this and that, and they're piecing all the things together. You don't know left from right, like up from down, like what is the purpose in all of this, expecting to look like, this fitness model on IG.
Yeah.
Because you're following all of these things. And it's like, no, it's just like me trying to bake a cake without instructions, without a recipe.
Yes.
You need the recipe for success. So why not hire a coach who is educated, who has the background that can help you tailor a program specifically for you, as opposed to pulling all the things together.
Yeah, exactly.
And, and we've met a lot of women too where they have all the things, but they're a victim of information overload. They don't even know where to begin.
It's too much.
It's too much.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And it's not just too much information, but too much restructuring of their life.
Yes.
Right? Because
in
they go
one
all
time.
in. Yeah.
Yes.
Like now I gotta get up at 5 a.m. so I can go to the gym at this time.
Yes.
And I gotta pack my week's worth of lunches. And I gotta meal plan one day. That is a lot when you try to
do all the things.
Of course you're gonna quit after 12 days.
Especially, can I say, because we work with a lot of them, I love you girls, but the perfectionists.
Oh, yes.
The second they miss one workout, the second they miss one meal, it's
the whole day shot.
Oh, game over.
Yeah, it's all done.
It's done.
Yeah. It's
done. And there's no grace. There's no, and we believe in what we teach inside our program is 80% compliance is good enough.
Yes. Yes.
But the slightest mishap, I couldn't do my workout this morning, well then I'm not going to do it at all, and then that day becomes
and now I'm going to have pizza, and I'm going to have this, and I'm going to have that, and totally falling off the diet.
100%.
Right?
And that's another layer of why people quit, because they weren't perfect.
Too hard. Yeah.
It was too hard. They weren't perfect. If the second they mess up, they totally give up.
Yeah.
Instead of, and what we teach inside our program is, dust yourself off. What was the lesson in that?
Yeah. Yeah.
And 99.9% of the time, that type of situation is going to happen again.
Yes. So how do you plan for it next time?
How do you plan for it so that when you are faced with that type of situation, you're not going to fall off?
Yeah.
And or, fine. You had a lovely dinner because it's your anniversary. That doesn't mean the whole weekend is shot. It's get back to your macros or get back to your plan the next meal.
Yeah, exactly. Because one bad meal, one misplaced meal,
it's not
going to ruin It's the consistent
Yes.
bad meals
Yes.
over time that
Yeah.
will ruin your program and your path.
And actually, you know, there are, when we've worked with women who do this, one of our ladies, I love her to death, she calls them BLTs, bites, licks, and snacks.
Yes,
Snacking.
they don't count.
No, they don't.
If you're walking by and you have a little nibble of this, that doesn't count.
It's
Because
zero calories.
what's funny is if you try to measure that little taste of this, that little taste of that, you put it into MyFitnessPal, it's like 0.01 gram of it, right? But if you did that 20 times,
Yes.
right, then
Yes.
that adds up.
Exactly.
And that is so true. And oftentimes that is where you're feeling like you did all the right things all week long. You barely ate anything. You were starving most of the days and and it's because of the little nibbles.
Yes.
Right? The little nibbles here, there, the little
But
tastes
they
here,
don't
there.
count.
Right? They don't,
They're-
and sometimes you're not even fully aware,
Yeah.
right? It's
You're
not,
cooking
it's
and then
not
you
like
lick
a,
the
yeah,
spoon.
exactly. Like a lick of peanut butter here, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like it does add up, and when people aren't super mindful
No.
of all those little things that add up.
Yeah.
Like a little, like, oh, I'll just have one fry of this,
Right.
right? But you do that 10 times.
Or, and I get it, all of the moms out there where you're
they're
finishing,
their food for the kids.
that
Yes.
counts.
Yes.
That counts.
Often
If you
it's
already
worse.
had your
You
meal,
just had a meal.
and you know, majority of the time what the kids are eating are not exactly full of nutrients.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
primarily carbs and fats.
Yeah, because you're just trying to make them eat, trying to get
Yes.
them to eat. Yeah, they're
Mom,
finicky.
I can't finish it. Okay, give it to me.
Yes, because you don't want to go to food waste,
No.
right? And I mean, especially, I don't know, I mean, I certainly never said this to my daughter, but I know that it was told to me as a kid.
Oh, that
Right?
there's children in Africa that are starving?
Yes, there's kids that don't get this food.
Yeah.
Right? There are a lot of people that are starving. They are going to starve whether I eat this or
Well,
not.
and that's it.
like
I'm
that
like,
is
how does
like
this
that's
make a
not
difference?
helpful. That is not helping anybody.
Is this feeding a child in Africa if I finish my plate right now?
No.
That, see, and there's another big one is those guilt, you
Yeah.
know, heavy, guilty, I don't know what they're, what
Yeah.
all of
it's-
them, but
yeah.
they're just embedded in us, right? These so-called habits that we learned,
Yeah.
you know, at a young age, and we carry them
They-
into our
they go with us.
adulthood.
Yes. And that leads into that whole calorie surplus, and when you don't think that you're,
Exactly.
and then when you get to the 12th day and you weigh yourself and you're, I
Have
haven't
stuck
lost
to
any
the
weight.
diet. But what about all those bites, licks, and you know,
yeah. So
snacking.
and then you feel frustrated.
You do.
And then you quit.
and
right?
then you quit.
And you realize like, oh, I have to. And then when you do realize like all the little nibbles here and there, and you can't have all these little snacky snacks and everything else, then that's suddenly like, oh, that's way too hard. This program's not for me.
Yeah.
And then you quit, right? So
When it actually wasn't even the program.
yeah, no, right? It's just like how you handled it, your habits, your consistency. It's like it's a whole bunch of things, and some of it is the ingrained childhood beliefs,
Yes.
right? That we all grew up with.
Those
and we all
self-limiting
have.
beliefs.
Yeah, we have them all, right?
Yes.
And that contributes to giving up.
Yes. So we want to just leave everyone with even just a couple of tips on how to stop quitting.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we'll do a few each. So I think for me to stop quitting, number one is shift the mindset from self-discipline to self-devotion.
I love it.
I think that's one, because then you'll approach your healthy lifestyle, that journey, with a more grace, more love,
Yeah.
more respect, just more gentleness.
Yeah.
And then I would say hire a coach.
Yeah. That would help.
Hire a coach
Help
who
a
can
lot.
help you.
Not just a program, a coach.
Yes.
Right?
And it's tailored to where you're at.
Yes.
You know, unfortunately, that the way that you used to lose weight in your 20s is not going to work now in your 40s, right? It's different. We're different. We are hormonal. We're walking hormones. That's what we are. And things have changed.
Yeah.
And so we, just hire someone that has the background, that is educated, that can help tailor a program that's specifically for you, rather than piecemealing all the things.
Yeah.
So those are my top two. And then I would say a third one is be surrounded by a community. of like-minded women so that you don't feel alone.
Yeah.
For that layer of accountability, because I think when you're left to your own accord, it's really easy to skip a workout. It's really easy to slip up and make all the excuses. But then when you have a community of like-minded women who are going through the same things that you're going through, you have that support system. One, you don't feel alone, and there's something really comforting in that, and you can turn to each other for advice. So that's the main thing. So, shifting from self-discipline to self-devotion, hire a coach, and, get yourself into a community of like-minded women so that you can walk this journey with support.
Yeah. I'll say, I think number one, most important, after all of those great things, is going to be start small.
Yes.
Don't change your entire life. Right? Pick the one thing that you feel confident that you can start making a change on.
Yes.
Right? And if that's just like one habit, just the one thing,
habit at a time.
Right? Just focus on that. Keep it small. Keep it simple. Right? And then I would say along the lines of you do it with grace.
Yes.
Right? So live by the 80-20. Allow yourself some slip-ups. Try not to be too perfect. It's not going to win you any contest. It's not going to win you. You know what I mean? Like, it's to what benefit is it to be so perfect?
Especially when it's a lifestyle. Like, it's a different story if you're competing in a fitness competition.
Yes.
But then at that point, hire a coach.
Oh, yeah.
But if this is a lifestyle, I agree. 80-20 for sure.
Exactly. And then I think it goes along with community and with a coach, but it's the accountability component, right? 100%. Especially if you're new into this, or you want to give it your all, or whatever the case, right? If you just want that next level to really help reinforce the habits and the changes that you're making in your life, accountability will go a long way. And that could look like friends and family, it could look like your community, or it could look like your coach, right? Whatever that looks like, have someone that you can check in with and help you hold yourself accountable to. Because when you're new in it, all on your own, all by yourself, like, chances are you might not hold yourself as accountable as you think you will, right? So it's a little bit harder knowing that every week, Saturday at noon, you're going to check in with somebody. Yes. Right? You're going to send your measurements, you're going to send your whatever, right? Your progress. It keeps you honest. It does. It keeps you honest, not that at that moment. It keeps you honest all throughout the week, because you're going to think about, I got my check-in on Saturday. Yes. Right? And maybe you slip up on Tuesday, but you're not going to fall off the track for the rest of the week. Yes. It will help you learn how to get back up and get back on track, because you have check-in. I love that. Right? I love that. So whatever accountability looks like, but it kind of ties into that same thing, but I 100%, like, I fall back on that a lot. Of course. Right? Of course. Like, that is a really big component and helps me a lot. And that's a huge component in one of our foundational principles in our program, is the accountability, where, yes, our ladies have the option of weekly check-ins, and they definitely have monthly check-ins. Yes. So with that, I would love to invite our listeners, if you are interested in learning more about the Fit Beyond 40 coaching program, we'll put the link in our show notes. You can book a discovery call. It's absolutely free. It really just gives you an opportunity to understand what it is that we do, how do we serve our women, how do we keep them accountable, the type of coaching that we offer, the community that we have. And if that is something that you're looking for, then I definitely encourage you to click on the link, book that discovery call. It's just a conversation to figure out, okay, if we're a good fit, then perhaps we have a program that will help you. So there we go. Yay! Yay! I love it. I love it. All right. Well, I hope you listeners out there love this episode. Make sure that you like and subscribe if you are listening to this or watching this on YouTube, and as well as follow us on the Apple Podcast and on Spotify. You can find us there. That way we can remind you when the next episode is available. So thank you to my beautiful co-host. I love you. Love you guys. God loves you more. And we'll see you on the next episode of Fit Beyond 40. Bye, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to the Fit Beyond 40 podcast.
If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and catch every new release on your favorite listening platform.
Follow us on Facebook and Instagram to stay inspired and connected. And if you're looking for a supportive community on your fitness and life journey, come join us in our free Facebook group called Fit Beyond 40 for Women. And if you have any questions in regards to fitness, nutrition, or mindset, go ahead and pop them below and we'll make sure to answer your questions. I look forward to seeing you